Hi, my name is Muhammad Kambi Ismail and my metric number is A22A1292. Today I'm going to present article review text 3. Okay, the introduction have two parts, which is part A and part B. A. What is the possible title for the text? So my answer is global population. B. Why do you choose the text? Okay, to create awareness for audience about human population. Now we move to the body of paragraph. Okay, question A. What is the purpose of the text? B. Who is the intended audience of the text? C. What is the thesis statement of the text? D. What are the topic sentence? E. Do this topic sentence related to the thesis statement of the text? F. How does the author present the argument to support each topic sentence? G. Are the argument convincing? Why or why not? H. Are there opposing views, and how are these views counter-argue? Now we move to the question A. What is the purpose of the text? Okay, the purpose of the text to educate an aware audience about real situation of human population. It also encourage audience about how important human population in our life. B. Who is the intended audience of the text? The intended audience of the text appear is individual who consume news and having negative view of the world due to the information they receive. The text aim to provide a more optimistic view of the world by representing statistical evidence that contradicts the negative view. It also appears to target individuals who have concern about global issues such as population growth, poverty, violence, and lastly, pregnant mother. Also, news weeks. C. What is the thesis statement of the text? The thesis statement of the text is that the world is improving despite negative news stories and statistics, and that improvement in technology, health, and poverty reduction are contributing to a more stable global population. The author suggests that while there are still problems to be addressed, such as environmental issue and inequality, overall trends in population growth, poverty reduction, and violence suggest that the world is getting better. Question D. What are the topic sentence for each body paragraph of the text? Body paragraph 1. Global population growth is slowing down due to falling birth rate. Body paragraph 2. Most people are no longer living in extreme poverty, and poverty eradication by 2030 is achievable. Body paragraph 3. As for news stories that make us think that the world is an increasingly violent place, there is cause for some optimism too. Body paragraph 4. Of course, none of this means the world is perfect, and whether you are affected by war and poverty is often down to the lottery of where you are born. Question E. Do this topic sentence related to the thesis statement of the text? The answer is yes. The topic sentence related to the thesis statement of the text argues that despite a negative worldwide portrayed by the media, statistics show that the world is improving in terms of population growth, poverty reduction, and decreasing violence rate. The topic sentence provides evidence to support this argument. For instance, the first topic sentence discusses falling birth rate, which support the argument that the population growth rate is slowing down. The second topic sentence talks about poverty reduction, which is one of the positive developments the text highlights. The third topic sentence addresses decreasing violence rate, which also support the thesis statement. The final paragraph acknowledges that there are still major global issues that need to be addressed, such as environmental problems and wealth inequality. F. How does the author present the argument to support each topic sentence? First, the author used language to emphasize the negative view of the world presented by the news and newspaper, setting up a contrast between this perception and the actual state of the world. There is language like depressing, isn't it, to engage the reader and create an emotion response. The author then introduced the ideas of examining statistics to challenge this negative view. Second, to support the argument about global population, the author relies on statistics and historical context. They mention the figure predicted by the UN in 1958 and provide the current population estimate of around 7 billion. They further explain the reason behind the expected slowing down of population growth, referring to falling birth rate and advancement in technology and health. The use of statistics and historical information add credibility to the argument. Third, for the argument about poverty and its impact on child mortality, the author again employs statistics and contrasts them with the existing wealth distribution. They mention that only 20% of the world holds about 70% of the world income, but they also note that 60% of the world falls into the middle income group. The author introduced the possibility of eradicating poverty by 2030 with international aid, linking poverty reduction to improvement in life expectancy, birth rate and global population stabilization. The use of statistics and reasoning strengthens the argument. Fourth, in discussing the perception of the increasingly violent world, the author provides a mix of historical data and statistical evidence. They mention the number of the war and associated fatalities in the past highlight a decrease in the scale of conflicts. The author acknowledges the rise in terrorism, but also point out the death resulting from violent crime and more likely than political conflict. They further support the argument by referencing a decreasing in global murder rate through the use of historical comparison and statistical data. The author challenged the perception of an increasingly violent world. H. Are the arguments convincing? Why or why not? The arguments presented in the text are convincing to some extent. The author provides statistical evidence to counter the negative worldview portrayed by the news and newspaper. The point about the slowing global population growth due to falling birth rate and the decline in the global average number of baby per woman are supported by historical trends and advancement in technology and construction. Ultimately, whether the arguments are convincing or not may depend on individual perspective and the way of assigned to different factors when evaluating the state of the world. H. Are there opposing views and how are these views counter-argued? The text does not explicitly present opposing view, but it acknowledges that not everything is perfect and highlights some of the challenges that still exist in the world. It mentions rising violence, unstable population growth, wealth concentration, poverty in low-income countries, and environmental problems like global warming. These are issues that can be seen as opposing view of the current states of the world. To counter this opposing view, the text focuses on presenting data and statistics that suggest positive trend and improvement in various aspects. It mentioned the slowing down of population growth due to falling birth rate, which implies that the world's resource might be able to sustain the project population increase. It also highlights the decline in child mortality and the decrease in global murder rate. Additionally, it mentioned the increasing number of people falling into the middle income group, indicating a reduction in extreme poverty. By emphasizing these positive trends, the text aims to counterbalance the negative view often portrayed in the news and newspaper. However, it still acknowledges that challenges remain and improvement are needed in the areas like wealth distribution and environmental sustainability. The text recognizes that the world is not perfect and that the circumstances and individual face can be influenced by factors such as birthplace. Overall, while the text does not explicitly present opposing views and directly counter-argue them, it provides counterpoints through the presentation of data and statistics that suggest an improvement world in certain aspects while acknowledging the challenges that persist. Next, can you relate the text's main ideas to your experience or relate the situation to the Malaysian context? In Malaysia, the issue of poverty, wealth inequalities and population growth are also present. Malaysia has experienced significant population growth over the years. According to the Department of Statistics, Malaysia's country's population was around 32.7 million in 2019. The growth rate has slowed down compared to previous decades, mainly due to declining birth rate. However, population projections indicate that Malaysian population is expected to continue increasing, albeit at a slower pace. This growth poses challenges in terms of resource management, infrastructure development, and ensuring a stable future. And also, in Malaysia, have environmental issues, including global warming and resource distribution, are relevant concerns in Malaysia. The country faces challenges related to deforestation, pollution, and climate change impact. The government has implemented various environmental initiatives to address this issue, such as sustainable development plans, renewable energy projects, and conservation efforts. Overall, while Malaysians have made progress in certain areas, there are still challenges to overcome. The Malaysian context aligns with the main ideas of the text, emphasizing the needs for continuous effort to reduce poverty, address inequality, promote sustainable development, and ensure peace and stability within the country. Last but not least, how important is the information in the text to you as a student? As a student, the information in the text can be valuable for gaining a broader perspective on global issues and challenging common assumptions. Me as a student will be having a family on future, think this text is important for me to start a new life with my family one day. That's all for me. Thank you and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.